They underestimated you, but they were wrong. They made a colossal mistake. They thought it would be easy to bring you down, to destabilize your spirit and control your destiny as if they were the architects of your path. In their arrogance, they believed you were vulnerable, a mere target for their manipulation and schemes. But what they failed to see was the truth staring them in the face. You are not like the others they have tried to control. You are a force of nature, a chosen one, carrying within you a strength and purpose that cannot be touched by their shallow attempts to harm you. In trying to manipulate your emotions, undermine your faith, and sway your choices, they unknowingly stepped into a minefield. Every misstep they took triggered consequences far beyond their understanding, and now those consequences have come knocking at their door. Every blow they aimed at you returned with greater intensity, like an invisible boomerang infused with the energy of their intent. What they sent your way came back to them, magnified and transformed into chaos they could no longer control. This is the unbreakable law of the universe. What is launched against a chosen one inevitably returns to its origin. Not because you sought revenge, but because the balance of existence demands correction. They dared to challenge a being marked by the sacred, and in doing so, they invited the forces of the universe to act on your behalf. Turning pain into power, they thought they could weaken you, that their actions would erode your strength and make you give up. But they did not understand the alchemy of your soul. Every challenge they threw your way became fuel for your transformation. Like a spiritual alchemist, you turned pain into power, fear into courage, and hatred into unconditional love. They watched in disbelief as you stood taller, your roots digging deeper into the earth, unshaken by their attempts to destabilize you. What they did not realize is that attacking a chosen one only strengthens them. Every adversity you faced, every obstacle they placed in your path, became a spark that ignited the fire within you. A fire that burns with an intensity they could not fathom. Your light is inextinguishable, your presence unstoppable, and your spirit unbreakable. Guided by unseen hands and protected by forces beyond human understanding, you rose higher with each attempt they made to bring you down. The awakening of dormant power. Their attempts to harm you triggered something extraordinary. A dormant energy within you that was waiting for the right moment to awaken. Every limitation they tried to impose, every barrier they constructed, only served to reveal the depth of your resilience. You became stronger than you ever imagined, discovering strengths and abilities that had been hidden within you, waiting to emerge. While they floundered in the darkness of their own making, you ascended into the light. Their vanity and thirst for control blinded them to the truth. They believed they were walking a path of victory, but they were unwittingly leading themselves into ruin. The chaos they tried to impose on your life returned to them, unraveling their foundations, relationships, and peace. Meanwhile, you continued forward, steadfast in your purpose, a purpose rooted in the fabric of the universe itself. The strength of your purpose. They tried to silence you, to dim your brilliance, but they forgot one crucial truth. Your light does not come from the outside. It emanates from within, fueled by your essence, your unyielding connection to something greater. Every attempt they made to extinguish you only illuminated their own shadows, forcing them to confront truths they had long buried. Their efforts to strike you caused a devastating ripple effect, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. Those who once followed their lies began to see the cracks in their facade. The chaos they unleashed turned back on them, while you stood firm, guided by a purpose that could never be interrupted. To defeat you, they would have to destroy the very destiny that has been written for you, a feat no one can accomplish. Emerging stronger and wiser, through their misguided attempts to harm you, they unknowingly pushed you toward a profound awakening. The pain they intended to inflict became your greatest source of power. Every tear, every moment of doubt, was transformed into wisdom and strength. Like a true alchemist, you took everything they threw at you and turned it into fuel for your ascension. Now, you stand taller than ever, with clarity and conviction that cannot be shaken. You know who you are, what you are capable of, and the impact you are destined to have. This is your true victory, not just surviving their attacks but thriving because of them. Their attempts to break you have only made you more powerful, more radiant, and more aligned with your purpose. the ultimate victory. While they deal with the chaos they brought upon themselves, you continue to rise. Every blow they delivered has turned into a stepping stone for your growth. You have become a force they cannot contain, a beacon of light that shines brighter with every challenge. Their plans have failed, their intentions have backfired, and now they are left to grapple with the consequences of their actions. You, chosen one, are not merely standing, you are soaring. Everything they tried to use against you has become a testament to your strength, resilience, and unwavering spirit. Your journey is a powerful reminder that no force can stop a destiny that is divinely orchestrated. You are the embodiment of transformation, turning adversity into triumph, and your light will continue to illuminate the path forward for yourself and others. This is not the end, it is only the beginning. Your story, marked by perseverance and victory, will inspire and guide others who face similar battles. Keep moving forward, for your strength and purpose are unstoppable, and your light will forever shine, turning their attacks into your strength. What they intended to be your downfall became the very foundation of your ascent. They underestimated you entirely, blinded by their own misconceptions. While they plotted in the shadows, believing they could break you, they failed to see the depths of your resilience, the clarity of your purpose, and the strength of your spirit. Their attempts to stop you, ironically, propelled you forward, launching you into a position they could never have predicted, a position of undeniable power and clarity. Now the world watches as the truth becomes apparent. The unbreakable one is you. They miscalculated, assuming your compassion was a weakness and your empathy a sign of submission. But what they did not understand is that your light is guided by ancient wisdom and a purpose that transcends their shallow schemes. While they were tangled in illusions of control, you walked forward undisturbed, grounded in the strength of your truth. What they perceived as vulnerability was, in fact, the most potent expression of your power, the ability to forgive, to rise above, and to remain unwavering on the path destined for you. Ripples of justice. Attacking you was like throwing a stone into a calm, infinite lake, expecting it to rage. Instead, their actions merely created ripples that returned to them with devastating force. Your being reflects the perfect balance of the cosmos, and any disturbance against you resonates across the universe like a cry for justice. Those ripples, born of their malice, dismantled the fragile castles of illusion they had built, leaving them to drown in the chaos of their own making. Meanwhile, you rose above the turmoil, serene and unshaken, a silent witness to the ruin of those who dared to challenge your light. They did not foresee that in trying to subjugate you, they would free you from the last chains that bound you. Their every insult, betrayal, and attempt to diminish you served as fuel for your transformation. Each strike broke the old limitations holding you back, propelling you to new heights. In their reckless actions, they unknowingly paved the way for your ascent, making you stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to the indomitable essence of who you truly are. An unstoppable force. They aimed at you, believing they could break your spirit, but they encountered a force they could neither understand nor control. Your strength was not born of stubbornness but of purpose, pure, unyielding, and unstoppable. They tried to imprison you with their words, their judgments, and their manipulations, but they did not know that you are made of the same material as the stars, shining brighter in the darkest moments. Every attempt to extinguish your light only amplified it, turning you into a beacon for the world. Every effort to silence your voice gave it more strength. It was only when it was too late that they realized their folly. In trying to diminish you, they had only made you shine brighter, illuminating their own shadows and forcing them to confront the truths they had long buried. The mirror of their actions. They underestimated the strength of your soul, believing their subtle attacks could break you. What they did not realize is that your essence is an invisible wall built from the fragments of every battle you have already won. Every insult, every betrayal, and every attempt to destabilize you crumbled before it even reached your core. They were not prepared for the silent yet relentless return of your strength, a force that cannot be controlled, only respected. In their arrogance, they failed to see that their actions were a reflection of their own insecurities and failures. The more they tried to attack you, the more they exposed themselves. Their masks fell, revealing their true intentions and the emptiness of their motivations. While they tried to drag you into darkness, they only succeeded in losing themselves within it. You, untouched by their chaos, continued to move forward, guided by the light of your purpose, your unstoppable ascent. Every time you stood stronger, every time you rose with greater determination, it was a silent reminder of their failure. They expected to see you weakened, broken, and defeated, but instead, you grew, your presence illuminating the shadows they had cast. Your growth became an affront to their mediocrity, a clear testament to the power they could not comprehend. They were forced to watch as you ascended, unstoppable and untouchable. In targeting you, they meddled with forces far beyond their understanding. Forces that transcend the visible and are rooted in the spiritual. Their actions unleashed storms they could not foresee, as if you had an invisible legion of guardians protecting you at every turn. What they thought would be an easy victory turned into their undoing, awakening a power far greater than anything they could have conceived. The power of purpose. In their attempts to harm you, they misjudged the very essence of who you are. They failed to understand that your purpose is interwoven with the fabric of the universe, a force that cannot be interrupted or destroyed. Every blow they dealt only served to awaken your true power. You discovered strengths you did not know you had, abilities that had lain dormant, waiting for the right moment to emerge. While they floundered in the chaos of their own making, you gained clarity, conviction, and an unshakable sense of self. Now, you know exactly who you are, what you can achieve, and the extraordinary impact you are destined to have. The pain they sought to inflict on you has become your greatest source of power. Every tear, every doubt, and every fear was alchemized into strength, wisdom, and light. Victory beyond measure. Now, here you stand, not merely standing but towering. You are a living testament to the power of resilience, the triumph of purpose, and the invincibility of light. Everything they tried to use against you has turned into a testament of your strength, proof of the indomitable spirit within you. While they grapple with the consequences of their choices, you move forward, propelled by the very energy they sought to extinguish. You are unstoppable, my chosen one. Their attempts to harm you have only amplified your power, and your story will inspire others to rise above adversity. This is your victory, not just surviving their attacks, but thriving because of them. You are the embodiment of transformation, and your light will continue to illuminate the world, no matter how dark it may seem. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a journey that will take you beyond anything they, or even you, could have imagined. Keep rising, for you are destined to shine. Unshakable in the storm. They mistook your kindness for submission, your calmness for weakness. But you are like a rock amidst the stormy sea, unshakable, indifferent to the crashing waves. Every attempt they made to subjugate you only magnified your strength and illuminated your integrity. What they faced was not something they could control but a presence that transcends ordinary understanding. By the time they realized this, it was too late. They were ensnared in the web of illusions they had spun, tangled in knots they crafted with their own hands. Meanwhile, you watched the chaos unfold around you with serene composure. They aimed wrong because they never grasped the depth of what it means to challenge a chosen one. In trying to destroy you, they were not merely confronting a person. They were battling an unalterable purpose, a destiny that cannot be swayed by human interference. It is akin to attempting to extinguish a star in the heavens, a futile and impossible endeavor. Their efforts, no matter how intense, were like fists thrown against the current, dissipating without leaving a mark. While they fought against the inevitable, you moved forward with tireless determination, ever closer to fulfilling the mission entrusted to you since the dawn of time. The power of hidden depths. They faltered because they could not see beyond the surface. Judging you by appearances, they failed to perceive the vast ocean of strength and wisdom beneath. They tried to measure you with their limited scales, not realizing that you are an uncharted depth. On the surface, your waters are calm, but beneath lies a current so powerful it drags and destroys anything that tries to tether you. In their attempt to sink you, they themselves became submerged, swallowed by the very illusions they created. Every attack they launched was not a blow to weaken you but an invitation for you to rise higher. What they intended as harm became a process of forging, tempering you like steel that grows stronger in the fire. Every betrayal, every challenge, and every fall became another step in polishing the jewel that is your soul. Now, when they look at you, they no longer see someone they tried to harm. Instead, they see a radiant being, a reflection of the very strength they sought to extinguish. Freedom beyond their reach. They aimed wrong because they tried to control what cannot be captured. You are like the wind, free, untethered, and impossible to imprison. They built walls and laid traps, but you always found a way through, discovering paths invisible to their eyes. Every attempt to constrain you only revealed their own limitations. Your essence is freedom itself, and any attempt to contain it highlights the smallness of those who tried. By the time they realized their mistake, it was too late. They were already entangled in the consequences of their actions. In challenging you, a chosen one, they underestimated the cost. They believed they could emerge unscathed, but instead, they are now surrounded by shadows of their own making, lost in a labyrinth they cannot escape. Meanwhile, you move forward, untouched, leaving behind those who tried to halt the inevitable. The strength of the divine connection. They aimed wrong not because you were invisible but because your strength was beyond their comprehension. In their attempts to harm you, they inadvertently awakened forces that were dormant within you. What they did not know is that you carry a protective network, an unseen force that shields you from harm. Every attack they launched was like a stone thrown against an invisible shield, one that not only protected you but reflected the impact back to them. Now they find themselves cornered, grappling with the aftermath of their actions. Their mistake was believing they could harm the invulnerable, touch the untouchable. They underestimated your connection to the divine, thinking they could strike you without consequence. What they failed to see is that you are aligned with a force that transcends human understanding, a force that guards those who walk with truth and purpose. Their attempts to extinguish your flame were like trying to snuff out a fire protected by the wind, futile, impossible, and destined to fail. Strength rooted in purpose. Every step they took to harm you was, in reality, a step toward their own undoing. Like a deeply rooted tree, the more they tried to uproot you, the stronger your roots became, anchoring you even more firmly to your essence and purpose. They believed they could displace you, knock you off your path, but their attacks only fortified you. While they writhe in despair, trying to justify their actions, you stand firm, unreachable and unwavering, rooted in soil that cannot be shaken by winds of ignorance and hate. In aiming at you, they were unknowingly aiming at a mirror that reflected their own weaknesses. Every attempt to harm you exposed their insecurities, fears, and shadows. Without any effort on your part, you revealed the truth of their nature, destabilizing them far more than they could ever destabilize you. They expected you to break, but what shattered was the facade of their illusions. By the time they realized their error, it was too late to turn back. A victory in serenity. True strength is not in who attacks but in who withstands. You withstood everything with a serenity that disarmed every strategy they devised. Like the calm before a storm, your composure was more powerful than any force they could muster. Every attempt to diminish you only amplified your light. Every effort to silence you only made your voice stronger. Now, as they grapple with the consequences of their choices, you walk forward, unshaken and unstoppable. Their attempts to harm you were like whispers lost in the wind, unable to touch the core of who you are. Your resilience, your clarity, and your purpose remain intact, shining brighter than ever. You are a testament to the truth that true strength lies not in avoiding challenges but in rising above them. They tried to harm you, but in doing so, they only revealed their own fragility. And now you continue your journey, guided by a purpose that is greater than any force that could ever oppose you. The power of silent defiance. Your silence was louder than their rage, your stillness more powerful than any reaction they expected. They anticipated anger, retaliation, and chaos, but what they encountered was an impenetrable wall of peace. A serenity that absorbed all the violence they attempted to impose on you. In refusing to engage with their game, you disarmed them entirely. Their efforts to extinguish the flame of your determination only served to fuel it further. Every strike they aimed at you became the spark that made your light burn brighter, the fire of your resolve blaze higher. What they thought would mark the beginning of your downfall became the catalyst for your rise. Bewildered, they now stand in the shadow of your brilliance, forced to witness how their attempts to dim your light only amplified it. Your presence expanded, illuminating every corner they tried to shroud in darkness. There is no stopping someone who turns every blow into a spark, every challenge into a stepping stone. They believed they could silence you, not realizing that your voice echoes far beyond words. In your actions, your existence, and the undeniable impact you have on the world around you. A power that cannot be silenced. They sought to bury your truth, but like a seed planted in fertile soil, it sprouted, grew, and blossomed. Your message spread like a wind carrying change, unstoppable and transformative. In their attempts to mute you, they only amplified your presence, giving your essence an even greater platform to flourish. Every attempt to limit you became an invitation to break free from imposed barriers, to rise above their expectations and redefine the boundaries of what a chosen one can achieve. They thought they could define your limits, but you proved there are none. Every chain they attempted to bind you with shattered under the weight of your indomitable spirit. Your essence, rooted in freedom, defies containment. Their efforts to restrict you only revealed the smallness of their intentions and the vastness of your potential. They underestimated the strength of a being born to rise, thinking they could hold back the tide of your destiny. By the time they realized their mistake, they were already lost in the consequences of their actions, drowning in the illusions they created. A legacy of strength. In their attempts to strike you down, they forgot one vital truth. You carry not only the strength of an individual but the legacy of those who came before you. Every attack awakened the voices and energies of your ancestors, a force that echoes through time, rising to protect you. They thought they were battling one, but they found themselves facing an invisible legion, a lineage of resilience and power that cannot be destroyed. Their actions dissolved in the face of this collective strength, leaving nothing but empty echoes. They believed they could shake your faith, but they did not understand that your faith is forged in fire. It is unbreakable like tempered steel. Every challenge was a test, and you emerged stronger with each one, turning difficulties into steps toward your spiritual evolution. Their inability to comprehend the depth of your trust in something greater left them perplexed, unable to grasp what truly drives you. They thought they were isolating you, but in truth, they gifted you solitude, a sacred space to reconnect with your essence and emerge even more centered, aware, and unshakable. The resilience of truth. Every plan they devised against you unraveled like a spider's web at the first breath of truth. They thought they could trap you in their schemes, but your mind, a labyrinth of infinite possibilities, always found a way out. While they tangled themselves in their own illusions, you moved forward, untying the knots they tried to bind you with. Your ability to see through their deceptions and escape their traps with ease left them bewildered. They underestimated your adaptability, forgetting that you are like water, molding to any container, flowing through every gap, and finding your path no matter the obstacles. Their attempts to suffocate you with doubt and insecurity only strengthened your resolve. You turned their doubts into certainty, their fears into fuel for progress. For a chosen one, challenges are not obstacles but opportunities to demonstrate the unyielding power of an unbreakable spirit. Every attempt to make you question yourself deepened your understanding of your true nature, and every effort to confine you revealed your limitless capacity to grow. Absolute resilience. They challenged you on a terrain they could never comprehend, that of absolute resilience. While they struggled to contain you, you expanded, transforming under pressure like a diamond forming from coal. They thought they could break you, but instead, you became stronger, more luminous, and more connected to your purpose. Every barrier they erected became a stepping stone, every limitation a platform from which you soared higher. Your ability to adapt, to rise above, and to thrive in the face of adversity is a testament to the power of your essence. They sought to diminish you but ended up magnifying your strength. Their efforts to confine you only proved that no force can restrain someone whose spirit is boundless. You turned their attempts into fuel for your evolution, proving that true power lies not in what can be controlled but in what cannot be contained. The dawn of transformation. Now, as they are lost in the shadows of their own making, you stand as a beacon of light, unwavering and unstoppable. They expected your strength to waver, your faith to falter, but what they witnessed was the exact opposite. Every challenge they imposed became an opportunity for you to grow, and every attack only propelled you further along your path. You are a testament to the transformative power of resilience and faith. Their actions, meant to break you, have only refined and elevated you. The world now sees the undeniable truth. You are unshakable, unstoppable, and destined for greatness. While they remain trapped in their illusions, you continue forward, guided by a purpose far beyond their understanding, proving that nothing can hold back the light of a chosen one. Transcending every limit, they thought they could defeat you with brute force, believing that external pressure could dismantle the strength within you. What they failed to realize is that your power originates from a source they cannot access. Your courage is not merely reactive. It is rooted in a deep connection to something greater, a force that sustains you when everything around you seems to crumble. They tried to break you, to diminish your resolve, but what they encountered was a spirit that strengthens in adversity, a resilience that rises stronger with every fall. Now, as they face the undeniable failure of their attempts, they are left wondering how it is possible for someone to keep rising, to continue moving forward despite all the obstacles placed in their way. The answer is simple yet profound. You are propelled by a force that cannot be contained. Every attack they launched was like throwing stones into a crystal-clear lake. They expected waves of chaos, but instead, the stones sank into oblivion, unable to truly touch you. Your peace, far from being indifference, is a conscious choice, a decision to remain untouched by the negativity of others. The limitless expansion of your power. They erred in believing they could reduce you to less than what you are. What they did not understand is that you carry within you the vastness of the universe, an unlimited potential that grows with every attempt at limitation. The more they tried to restrict you, the more you expanded. Like the universe itself, your essence is ever evolving, ever brightening. Each of their efforts only served to magnify your strength, illuminating the brilliance of your indomitable spirit. The true power of a chosen one lies in their ability to transcend any barrier, to reinvent themselves with each new challenge. While they became entangled in the confines of their own limitations, you soared beyond them. You refused to be defined by their expectations or held captive by their schemes. Like a star that refuses to stop shining, you continued to grow and evolve. Every attempt to bring you down became an opportunity to reaffirm your purpose, a stepping stone on your path to greatness, transforming pain into power. They believed they could weaken you, but like a diamond forged under pressure, you emerged more radiant, more valuable, and more unshakable than ever before. What they intended as harm only sharpened your resolve. You turned pain into power, fear into courage, and adversity into an ally. While they stumbled in the darkness of their failures, you stood firm, showing the world that challenges are not obstacles but tools for growth in the hands of those who know how to wield them. When they tried to destabilize you with doubt, they encountered a faith so deep and unyielding that it became the foundation for your spiritual evolution. Each challenge they placed before you became a springboard, propelling you to heights they could never imagine. While they tripped over the traps they had set, you used those very stones to build your path, walking steadily toward a horizon that only you could see. Your journey proved one simple truth. Nothing can stop someone who transforms difficulties into opportunities. Indestructible purpose in motion. They aimed wrong, thinking they could destroy what is indestructible. You are more than an individual. You are a purpose in motion, an unstoppable force driven by a mission that is eternal. Nothing can halt the momentum of what was born to be invincible. Each of their attempts only reinforced the truth that your spirit is beyond their comprehension, your essence immune to their limitations. You are not merely surviving their efforts, you are thriving in defiance of them. Now, as they are left to grapple with their own failures, you continue moving forward, guided by an unwavering commitment to your destiny. The strength of a chosen one is not found in avoiding challenges, but in the ability to transform those challenges into stepping stones toward greatness. You embody this truth, proving time and time again that your resilience is not only unshakable but also a beacon for others who walk similar paths. An invitation to rise. If this message resonates with your soul, know that you are not alone in this journey. Our mission is to guide, support, and illuminate the path for those who recognize themselves as chosen ones. Explore the deeper insights in our ebook, crafted to help you uncover your gifts and navigate your spiritual evolution with clarity and confidence. By joining our exclusive Discord community, you will connect with others who share your journey, offering and receiving support in a space of understanding and growth. Leave a like below and subscribe to our channel to become part of this incredible movement. Together, we are rewriting what it means to face adversity, turning every challenge into an opportunity for transformation. By supporting this work through platforms like Buy Me a Coffee, you enable us to continue creating content that speaks to your spirit, guiding you toward your highest potential. Dive into the secrets of the chosen ones with our curated playlist or watch the recommended video on your screen. These resources are designed to transform your perspective, to remind you of the power you hold, and to strengthen your resolve in the face of life's trials. Being a chosen one is not just a title. It is a mission, a calling, and a testament to the strength within you. Remember, the true measure of a chosen one is not the challenges they encounter but the impact they create through their unwavering determination. May your journey be guided by light, courage, and truth, and may you continue to rise, unshaken and unstoppable.